Namaste everyone. Welcome to my channel Ashwin's Astrology. Planet Mars will be transiting to Aquarius sign on 15th of March 2024. Mars is currently transiting in Capricorn sign Makar Rashi, which is his exaltation sign Uchchasthana. Mars will be transiting to another sign of Saturn in few days, and that will be to Kumbha Rashi, where already Shani is present with his dear friend Shukra. So this will give rise to conjunction of Mars, Venus and Saturn in Aquarius sign, which is the natural 11th house from Kalpurush Kundli. So this video is all about Mars transit predictions to entire world as well as from all individual moon sign perspective. In this video, I'll be mainly covering the mundane predictions because of Mars transit to Aquarius sign, and in the next videos, I'll cover the transit predictions from individual moon signs as well in two parts, that is Mesh Rashi to Kanya Rashi as well as Tula Rashi to Meen Rashi. So, if you are interested in knowing from your individual moon sign perspective only, then please watch the other video which will be posted in our YouTube channel Ashwin's Astrology. And if you want to know from the characteristic and signification point of view as well as from mundane point of view, what are the events that will trigger because of Mars and Saturn conjunction, then please do watch this video till the end. So let's begin the Mars transit predictions from mundane perspective. Firstly, let's know what Mars transit is all about. What is Mars, and as a planet, what are the significations Mars is all about? Mars is also known as Kuja, Angaraka or Mangal. There is a shloka which is a clear indication or a representation of the characteristics or significations of planet Mars, and it comes like this. Dharani Garbha Sambhutam Vidyut Kanti Samaprabham Kumaram Shakti Hastancha Tam Mangalam Pranamamyaham. So, as per Mahapurana, that is Shiva Mahapurana, Mars Kuja is the son of Bhagwan Shiva. Mata Prithvi nurtured him and took care of him as a mother, and that's why Bhagwan Shiva blessed Mars for Angaraka to be Bhumi Putra, and that's why Mars is the Karaka for all the materialistic pursuit, whether it might be property or land. He is the Karaka for them. Also, Mars represents all these significations. He makes a person ambitious. He is the commander in chief in the planetary army. He represents that courageous attitude, competition, physical efforts, goal oriented, leadership or administration, and weapons, arguments, police, army, surgeons, and sadhana, determination, ashrams, and buildings. So these are all the significations which Mars rules over, and not just that, Mars is Karaka for electricity as well. That's why in the shloka it is mentioned Vidyut Kanti Samaprabha. So he is the Karaka for that electricity, for semiconductors, and also he is the young in nature. So because Kumaram Shakti Hastancha, he is young, dynamic, and also he is someone who is determined to do something. So as I mentioned here, sadhana determination means anyone who starts with the activity, whether it might be spiritual activity, he gives the determination to reach the accomplishment stage as well. So Mars is the planet which is very important to look after the accomplishment for the completion of the activity, and also from the decision making, Mars is very important. So these are the significations of Mars, and now let's move ahead to mundane predictions. When Mars transit to Aquarius, if we cast a Kundli, this is how it looks like. So we'll have the Simha Lagna, and Mars transit happens in the 7th house. So Mars will be transiting in the 7th house from the Lagna during the transit, and will be conjuncting both Venus and Saturn in the 7th house. Mars and Venus share a cordial relation, but Mars and Saturn are fierce enemies and natural enemies. And that's why Mars Venus conjunction is not a bad conjunction, it's a good conjunction, because person having Mars Venus conjunction in their individual birth horoscope will be very good looking, charming, as well as attractive. But Mars Saturn conjunction is never a good conjunction, and let it be in any sign. It has been noted over the time that whenever Mars and Saturn has conjunct in any sign, the world has not slept peacefully. Whether it might be in 2022 February March time period when Mars Saturn conjunct in Capricorn sign. Here Saturn was in own sign as well as Mars was in a good position like exaltation. Yet, as soon as Mars entered Capricorn, which happens to be the natural 10th house in Kalpurush Kundli, along with Saturn, it formed two Mahapurusha Yogas, Shasha Mahapurusha Yoga and Ruchak Mahapurusha Yoga in 2022. Yet, it started the Russia-Ukraine war also. So, if we note down the dates, on February 26, 2022, Mars Saturn were transiting in Capricorn sign, and at the same time, Mars the Saturn transit even let the Russia-Ukraine war happen also. It was from 24th of February is when Russia-Ukraine war started, and we know how disastrous it was for Ukraine especially, and how it affected the world economy also, and also European side and England side also, how it was very uh, disheartening to see the economy falling down, and it did create a lot of problems to the entire world. And that's why Mars Saturn conjunction is something which we cannot neglect. So I have listed down the amount of or the kind of events Mars Saturn can trigger during this time period. So, to mention about Mars Venus Saturn conjunction, till the end of March, we will have this conjunction. So, Venus, until between Mars and Saturn, will try to accommodate or will try to bring down the intensity of it. So, he will be try to negotiate with it. So, if we have to go ahead and make this prediction, Venus is the Lagna lord of India. So in Bharat's Independence Day Kundli, Venus becomes the Lagna Lord, and at the same time, Moon also is in Rohini Nakshatra right now. So it shows that India might be a mediator or a person, or as a country, Bharat could be at a very prominent position who will try to settle the war talks between two countries. So until Venus is present in Aquarius, so India will be in a picture for the next 15-20 days and will make sure that the war doesn't happen between any two countries, or any war happening between the countries doesn't continue as well. But at the same time period, Venus will move ahead to the 12th house, where Venus gets exalted. Already Sun, Mercury, Rahu is present here. So Venus will proceed to Pisces sign, Meen Rashi, in the first week of April. And that's when the Mars Saturn conjunction will start giving its negative effects, because by that time Mars and Saturn would be very close, almost 3-4 degrees. And as soon as Mars Saturn will be in the same Navamsha, because currently Saturn is in Shatabisha Nakshatra, uh, fourth quarter, and as soon as he Mars also enters the same Chaturvisha Nakshatra third or fourth quarter, because currently Mars is in Dhanishta Nakshatra. So both Mars and Saturn in Shatabisha Nakshatra, that is Rahu's Nakshatra, will definitely bring in the energies of three malefic planets, because Mars, Saturn, Rahu, all three are fierce malefic planets, and they can be a very great Marak combination as well. So this can happen in the Meena Navamsha, because Shatabisha Nakshatra fourth quarter will fall in the Meena Navamsha. So here also this Meen Rashi is overloaded, and in Navamsha also it will be overloaded because of Mars and Saturn. So this will again trigger the similar events which is promised in the Rashi Kundli also. So that's why during this time period it would be a very tension as well as a very disturbing events also will take place. So I have listed down some of the events here. So this Mars transit to Aquarius will make sure that, because it's happening in Vayu Tattva Rashi, air strikes, air accidents, nuclear explosion, chemical leakage, or warlike situation may happen, and it will lead to death of some high authority person, and there will be some strict action from government on writers, disruptors, and anti-national criminals. And very important one, financial scam could be unleashed, and downfall of Indian stock markets, especially from 2nd of April to 25th of April, is one which we can expect. So if anyone is looking to reap their profits, this is the right time to do so, or else wait till May 10th, because Mercury moves out of the Rashi on May 10th, and that will be a better time period, because Mercury is the Karaka for Indian stock markets. He is currently debilitated, as well as he is will be retrograde also, and then again direct. So debilitation, retrogression, all this, and also with Rahu in conjunction. If you can remember here, if you can see here, Mercury and Rahu both are in conjunction in Meen Rashi. So Sun also is in the same Rashi. So in next 1 month, we expect two eclipses also, for which I'll be making a separate video. So Sun Rahu conjunction is not good for government. So that will also will trigger some amount of problems for current union government also, or for any state governments for that matter. So any one of the state government will be in trouble during this time, that is for sure. And to start with the first prediction which I have made here, air strikes and air accidents, because Mars transiting to Aquarius, where Shani Shukra is already present, and also it is a Vayu Tattva Rashi, so we can expect any air strike, air accident, or nuclear explosion as well. Recently, Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji visited Pokhran, where we tested a nuclear energy for the last two times, one in 70s and another one in late 90s. So there could be one more test or some progress in the nuclear sector also for India. It may happen. So it could be a positive one also, it could be a negative one also, because until Venus is there, we can expect some positive, because Venus represents chemicals, and there could be chemical leakage also, because Venus will very soon move to Meena Rashi, where it will join Rahu. But till the time Mars, it is with Mars and Saturn, we can expect nuclear explosion also. And as and when it moves ahead of Kumbh Rashi, we can expect the chemical leakage also, and warlike situation also may take place, because as mentioned, Mars and Saturn are fierce enemies. Mars is commander in chief, and Saturn is like a Sainik, a soldier. So he will definitely make sure that there will be a warlike situation, and especially between public and government, this is very important. So there could be some there could be a state government or a union government where they will take certain decision which will not be in the favor of public, and this might anger public, and they might take action on government. And strict action from government also will be done on writers, disruptors, and anti-national criminal, because Mars is in action. Mars represents police, army, and all. So government will take action, will make the decision, because Mars represents decision making, and they will try to tame the anti-nationals. Death of high authority person, because Sun is conjunct with Rahu in the 12th house. 12th house represents death, and Sun is high authority, king, or also any politician also, it might be possible, or someone with very high authority, or very influencing, a very publicly well known person, who is well accomplished, or who is well sought after. That person's death also, a very senior most person also, or it could be a middle aged person also, because it is in Jupiter's Rashi, and Jupiter represents middle age. So death of a high authority person is also possible. And as I mentioned here, financial scam. So after Harshad Mehta and Ketan Parikh, and also of Telgi, we haven't seen much scams in the financial sector wise, especially from Indian stock markets, because from last 4 5 years, Indian stock markets, irrespective of what the world economy is, it is rising up again and again and again, and we feel that all the stocks are overpriced as well. So we may get to know that there could be some price manipulation, or there could be some insider trading also, because that is very very much noted, because Aquarius is the secretive sign. After Scorpio, Vrishchik Rashi, it is the Kumbh Rashi which is known as the secretive sign in the entire Kalpurush Kundli. So that's why some secretive financial scam which had happened, where there was involvement of high authoritative person, politicians, government also, will be exposed, will be unleashed, and this will lead to downfall and panic in Indian stock markets. So this will be mainly noted in 2nd of April to 25th of April, because it can happen only the Karaka of Indian stock markets goes much more weaker, and it can happen only when Mercury is who is currently debilitated and also will go retro. Because one reason we can note here it can happen at this time period only is because Mercury Buddha is a planet which stays in a sign for 20-25 days. But this time, Mercury will be staying in Pisces, mean Rashi, which is its debilitation sign, Neech Rashi, for close to 2 months. So the planet which had to stay for 20 days in a sign will be staying for 60 days. That is three times its actual time period. So this itself should trigger us that Mercury is carrying some kind of karma or some kind of result with himself to give during this time. So being Saturn is in a complete Yuvavastha now and also very active, and also Saturn is in Meena Navamsha right now. So it's very natural to expect a financial scam to be exposed during this time, and there will definitely a downfall of Indian stock markets, especially from 2nd of April to April 25th, because at that time Mercury will be debilitated as well as retrograde. There are many astrologers who opine that this debilitation and retrograde will cancel the debilitation, but definitely there will be a negative effect of it. And as per Kalidasa's Uttar Kalamrita, debilitation and retrograde will make the planet much more worse if it is a conditional benefic planet, because Mercury is not a malefic. It becomes benefic if it is with benefic, and if it is with malefic, it will become malefic. So in this condition, Mercury will be seriously a malefic planet, and a planet which could be benefic if it is debilitated and retrograde, then definitely it will give higher amount of negative results. So this is the time you have to stay away from the markets. If you have your investments, reap the profits out of now only before the 3rd or 4th week of March, or else wait till 10th of May, because anyhow we have the general elections coming up in May 2024, and also at the same time we will have the better position of Sun, because 14th of April onwards, Sun will be exalted in Aries, Mesh Rashi, and this will bring some amount of strength to Sun, that is to the government, and that's why whatever we can expect that downfall of markets can happen in April 2nd to April 25th only. So after April 26th, Sun becomes little bit more powerful, because Sun reaches 10 degree on 24th of April, and then afterwards he will give some amount of strength, because Sun is exalted in Mesh Rashi, as well as it is in its commander in chief Mars Rashi. At that same time, Mars also would be in a good strength. He would have met the Saturn in same Navamsha and would have moved apart and would have reached Purva Bhadra Nakshatra. So by 24th, 25th April, so it would be a good time period to wait till 25th of April, or at least till 10th of May, because once Sun becomes powerful, it will bring the better things for the whole zodiac as well, and for other planets as well. So if you want to reap your profits, reap it off now in March only, or else uh, do it in the May 2024. So April is the month where you can try to average the stocks which you have already brought, or if you have already bought. So April is the month where you have to book profits and finish it off for this financial year, or wait till May 2024 to reap your profits if you want to end it and make a new investment. So these are the predictions from mundane perspective. Hope you liked my analysis. Kindly provide your feedback or suggestions in the comment box. I will definitely try to reply as soon as possible. In the next videos, I'll make the individual moon sign predictions for Mars transit to Aquarius. Until then, thank you and have a good day.